Slang Through the Ages, a Historical Perspective. Chapter 1. What's that you just said? The Origins of Slang, a Love Story. In the grand tapestry of language, slang is the cheeky cousin that shows up to a family gathering wearing mismatched socks and telling inappropriate jokes. Its origins are as varied and unpredictable as a toddler's art project bursting forth from the messy chaos of everyday life. Imagine a time ages ago when people were stumbling over their words like a toddler learning to walk. The need for brevity and flair gave birth to slang, a vibrant collection of terms that allowed people to express themselves in ways that were sometimes more colorful than a box of crayons. It was love at first utterance as these new playful terms began to spread like wildfire, revolutionizing communication and making the stuffy old dictionary feel like a relic from a bygone era. As societies evolved, so did slang, morphing and adapting like a chameleon at a party. The Renaissance was like the ultimate slang mixer, where poets, playwrights, and commoners mingled and exchanged their favorite phrases. Shakespeare himself was a notorious slang aficionado, sprinkling his works with words that made the serious folks clutch their pearls. In the streets of London, the word swagger found its way into the lexicon, and poets began using it to describe not just a walk, but an attitude. Every generation added its own flavor, from the jazzy beats of the 1920s to the hip-hop rhythms of the 1980s, proving that slang is the ultimate love story between generations, each one trying to outdo the last with more inventive lingo. But hold your horses, because this love story isn't all rainbows and butterflies. Gender differences in slang are like a romantic comedy where the leads just can't seem to get on the same page. Men and women have their own unique slang repertoires, often leading to a comedic game of charades when they try to communicate. Women might be using "Yas, Queen" to express excitement, while men could be throwing around "lit" like it's confetti. This linguistic divergence is not just a matter of preference, it's a cultural phenomenon that highlights how language can reflect societal roles and norms. One can only imagine the awkward conversations that have taken place over the years, with one party using slang like a secret code that the other simply can't decode. As slang evolved, it began to take on a life of its own, like a character in a soap opera with a penchant for drama. The rise of technology brought with it a new wave of slang that often left older generations scratching their heads in confusion. Texting and social media became the new playgrounds for slang, leading to terms that sounded more like secret agent codes than actual words. FOMO and YOLO became the rallying cries of a generation, while the older folks were still trying to figure out what Netflix and chill really meant. But that makes me think of acronyms like RSVP and others. That actually has French origins. Everybody wants to be able to communicate more succinctly, with brevity and to the point, with less effort and more communication. This intersection of technology and slang is a testament to how love and language continues to adapt, evolve, and sometimes leave people in the dust. In the end, the origins of slang are truly a love story for the ages, filled with twists, turns, and the occasional eye roll. It's a reminder that language is not static. It's a living, breathing entity that thrives on creativity and the need for connection. Slang allows us to break down barriers, share laughter, and sometimes even baffle our elders just for fun. And not only elders, but just those that are outside of our clique. We want to be able to communicate without others that we don't want to know what we're talking about, knowing what we're talking about. It's a reminder that language is not static. It's a living, breathing entity that thrives on creativity and the need for connection. Slang allows us to break down barriers, share laughter, and sometimes even baffle our elders just for fun. As we continue to navigate this ever-changing linguistic landscape, we can embrace the quirky and unexpected and the downright hilarious ways we express ourselves. After all, in the world of slang, there's always room for a little more love and a lot more laughter, especially when we're laughing at others that we don't see as seeing life and things the same way that we do. From Shakespeare to TikTok, the journey begins. From Shakespeare to TikTok, the evolution of slang has taken us on a wild ride through the ages. Much like a roller coaster with unexpected drops and loop-de-loops, imagine the bard himself, quill in hand, crafting phrases that would baffle even the most seasoned modern-day social media influencer. "Thou art a knave," he might exclaim, while today's youth would simply roll their eyes and respond with a crisp, "Bro, chill." It's a linguistic journey that reveals how language morphs over time, often leaving us wondering if we're speaking the same tongue or if we've accidentally entered a parallel universe where lit means something completely different. In Shakespeare's time, slang was the secret code of the streets, a way for the cool kids to differentiate themselves from the stuffy aristocrats. It's kind of the same as it is now, I do believe. Words like zany and gloomy were all the rage, giving rise to a new lexicon that Phil managed to tickle our funny bone today. Fast forward to the 21st century, and slang has become a chameleon, changing color faster than a TikTok video can go viral. With every new generation, we find ourselves in a lexical arms race as kids concoct new terms to keep their parents scratching their heads. Who knew that sick could mean awesome or ghosting would become the ultimate form of social avoidance? But let's not forget the role of gender in this playful linguistic dance. While Shakespeare may have penned some of the most romantic lines ever written, it's hard to imagine him navigating the minefield of modern gendered slang. Words like bay and thirsty have taken on lives of their own, often diverging in meaning depending on who's using them. Men and women might use the same slang, but the context, oh, the context, can turn a harmless term into a potential relationship minefield. It's a wonder we can even keep up with the ever-changing rules of engagement, let alone the ever-changing words. As we dive deeper into this linguistic saga, it's clear that slang is more than just a collection of trendy phrases. It's a reflection of our cultural landscape. From the taverns of Elizabethan England to the digital realms of TikTok, slang serves as a mirror, reflecting societal changes, attitudes, and even our collective sense of humor. Each term carries with it the weight of history, often with a playful twist that helps us bond over shared experiences, even if those experiences are utterly ridiculous. So, buckle up for a whirlwind tour through time as we explore the fascinating, funny, and sometimes downright absurd world of slang. Whether you're a Shakespeare aficionado or a TikTok enthusiast, there's something in this journey for everyone. After all, as we traverse the ages, we find that slang isn't just about words. It's about connection, laughter, and the delightful chaos of human communication. Why slang is like your favorite pair of sweatpants. Imagine opening your closet and reaching for that one pair of sweatpants that fits just right. They're comfortable, a little worn, and they always seem to have a way of making you feel at home. Slang is much like those beloved sweatpants. It wraps around you in familiarity, worn in by time and usage, and it can make even the most serious conversations feel a bit more relaxed. Just as you wouldn't wear a tuxedo to binge watch your favorite series, you wouldn't throw around formal language at a casual gathering. Slang is the cozy attire of communication, perfect for when you want to express yourself without the constraints of formal grammar. Words like gonna and wanna and ain't and all of those are a function of slang. Now let's talk about the evolution of slang, which is as unpredictable as the laundry cycle. As the laundry cycle? What? That's unpredictable? One day a term is born, used joyfully by a group of friends as they navigate the complexities of life. The next day it's all over social media. And before you know it, your grandma is using it to describe her new knitting project. Just like those sweatpants that seem to grow more comfortable with each wash, slang evolves, stretching and adapting to fit the times. What was once groovy has made way for lit and groove and funk and funky. So groovy went out in the 60s and became groovin', you know. Additionally, I think of ain't nobody got time for that, which, speaking of virility and things going viral, things that people say going viral, that's one of them. Ain't nobody got time for that. So speaking formally, ain't nobody got time for that. What was once groovy has made way for lit, and as we witness this linguistic transformation, we can't help but chuckle at how quickly our language can go from being hip to utterly outdated. Gender differences in slang usage add a fun twist to the story. Picture two friends, one a guy, the other a gal, chatting about their weekend plans. The guy might casually toss in phrases that feel like they've been plucked right out of a sports commentary, while gal, that sounds dated. While the shouty might drop some emojis and modern references that would make a millennial proud. This isn't just a matter of preference. It's like choosing between sweatpants with pockets or without. Each choice has its own merits, and when it comes to slang, the differences can be as stark as a neon color scheme versus a simple gray. Understanding these nuances can brighten up our conversation like a fresh batch of tie-dye sweatpants. Slang also carries with it a sense of belonging, much like the comfort of slipping into your favorite sweatpants after a long day, or your PJs, or just jeans, or shorts, or underwear, chonies, as they say in Mexico and Spanish-speaking vernacular. When you're with friends and start throwing around the latest slang, there's an unspoken bond that forms. It's a secret club where the password is lit and the dress code is casual. This shared language creates a safe space where everyone feels they can be themselves, just as you feel free to lounge on the couch in your coziest attire. The beauty of slang lies in its ability to create community. It's the linguistic equivalent of a potluck dinner where everyone brings their favorite dish and you leave with a full belly and a smile. In the end, just like your favorite pair of sweatpants, slang is all about comfort and connection. It may change over time, adapting to fit the needs of each generation, but its core purpose remains the same, to help us express ourselves in the most authentic way possible. So the next time you throw on those cozy pants and settle in for a night of Netflix, remember that slang is doing the same thing for language. It's there to keep us comfortable, to make us laugh, and to remind us that no matter how serious life gets, we can always find a way to communicate with a little humor and a lot of heart. Which makes me think of the abbreviation BET that Gen Z now uses, whereas we used to say, you bet. Are you going to be there? You bet. Are you going to be there? Bet. Or, I need a glow up for my rig. Bet. I got you. All those things. Anyway, peace out, peach up. How's that?